must be some way to convince her. Stubborn girl. You've got one of those faces, don't you? Nowhere near as pious as seems proper for this part of the world. In that case, how'd you like to earn some honest gold for a little bit of dishonest work? Oh, just discrediting Grand Chanter Surus and his Society of the Dragon. They claim to be a religious order, but they're nothing more than a cult that loves Akatosh a bit too much. And anyone who questions their faith tends to disappear. I didn't until my sister Jocelyn joined them. She has no idea what Surus does to people. Take these notes and preach the word of Boethia around town. After the Grand Chanter arrests you for heresy, my sister will see how he treats you and leave. Bring Boethia's word to the cult's initiates. If that doesn't get you noticed, nothing will. Once they detain you, we'll show my sister exactly how Surus treats those who disagree with him. As long as you don't wind up disappearing along the way. Grand Chanter Surus isn't your typical Akatosh priest. He enjoys filling impressionable heads with religious nonsense, and he has a violent streak as long as Varen's wall. Rumors say that if he can't fill your head, he'll remove it. Literally. A plan? Yes, I have a plan. But let's not spoil the surprise. Just be ready for my signal and follow my lead. Now get out there and spread some heresy. I can't wait to see how the Society initiates Squirm. Who knows why a young woman in the prime of her life would throw away everything to take up with a bunch of religious fanatics. I suppose it had something to do with that job that went sideways when I had to kill Jocelyn's best friend. I'm afraid I had no choice. A rival of mine hired him to kill us when we attended a meeting. I learned his true intentions too late to decline the invitation. I never let my enemies make the first move, so I ended him before he could end us. Jocelyn was mad at me, mad at him, mad at life in general. She decided that piracy wasn't for her. She wanted to serve a higher purpose. Unfortunately, this particular higher purpose is worse than piracy. It hides its killing behind religion. Grand Chanter Surus is a high-ranking priest in the cathedral, second only to Primate Artorius himself. He started the society for religious types who aren't ready to join the priesthood. They claim to be devoted to Akatosh and his teachings. Only if you believe Akatosh requires the beheading of people the Grand Chanter doesn't like. When my sister refuses an order, I'd rather not have her head on the chopping block. Nothing against religion, but this cult isn't right for my sister. Well, members that join the society are cut off from their friends and family, and anyone that tries to quit disappears. No one knows what happens to them, by the way. Oh, and I did mention the secret beheadings, didn't I?
May Akatosh and the Divine smile upon you this day and all the days to come. If you're interested, I can tell you all about the Society of the Dragon. How can you say such things? You monster!
merchandise around.
Fine goods for sale.
You're back, I see. How could I not? You're standing in my light. So tell me, how did you do? Well, good for you. But don't get too full of your accomplishments just yet. That was a fairly easy contract I started you with. Come back when you're ready for more. If the Speaker or the Matron give an order, though, that takes priority. Even the simplest contract represents a pact one enters into with the Dark Brotherhood. Take each contract seriously. After all, we've built our reputation on customer satisfaction.
Those loudmouth fanatics! It's time to teach them a lesson about the blessings of silence!
Enough. I'll decide how we respond to these malign sermons. Initiate, I have a task for you. Once again, the pious idiots of Kvatch dare to provoke the anger of the Dark Brotherhood. Such an insult cannot be allowed to stand unchallenged. As if the Grand Sermonizer didn't have enough vices to rage about, now she's preaching against the Brotherhood. She says we are weak, powerless, a toothless dragon that inspires ridicule instead of fear. These lies must be silenced, permanently. Be wary. The Order of the Hour has increased its presence in Kvatch. Avoid the warrior priests if you can. Meet up with Tannic and silence the priests that speak against us, including the Grand Sermonizer. That will put the fear of Sithis in them. Tannic will meet you in Kvatch. I expect the two of you to deal with the Grand Sermonizer and show the people of that hypocritical city the real power of the Dark Brotherhood. The Grand Sermonizer and her priests spread lies about the Brotherhood for reasons I do not yet understand. Whether she seeks to insult us or acts upon some misguided tenet of faith, our response is clear. These impudent priests must die. She's one of the ranking priests at the Cathedral of Kvatch, right below Primate Artorias in the hierarchy. She won't be easy to find, however. Killing her subordinates may draw her out. Otherwise, rely on Tannic to locate the hole she's hiding in. Primate Artorias leads the Cathedral of Akatosh in Kvatch. The chanters and sermonizers bow to his authority as the chosen of the Dragon God, and even the Order of the Hour follows his commands. Pious and faithful, I find the man to be insufferable. Caution becomes the appropriate response after the deaths of two assassins, Initiate. But make no mistake, I expect you to assassinate the Grand Sermonizer. Tannic will be there to provide assistance, nothing more. Under normal circumstances, no. These recent attacks against us, however, have made circumstances far from normal. Concentrate on the Grand Sermonizer. That's your primary mission. The common folk fear us. The political leaders tolerate us. And everyone who needs someone dead and can pay the cost hires us without hesitation. Our reputation remains strong. But these attacks by the sermonizers, they're obviously up to something. It could be anything. Certainly Primate Artorias and his priests have little love for the Brotherhood. I wonder, does the Cathedral plan to outlaw the Black Sacrament? Would they dare such an action? Regardless, these sermons are bad for business.
Initiate, I have my own contract in Kvatch. I'll join you in Tannic as soon as I'm finished.
3 blades on the same contract? Is that wise, Matron?
Just make sure the Grand Sermonizer dies, Initiate. That's my chief concern.
There's no point in you trying to escape. There are more guards after you than there are trees in the forest. How sad. Your name has been cleared.
I was wondering how long it would take you to get here. Didn't Astara instill you with a sense of urgency about this mission? She must be getting tender-hearted after all these years. Yes, I say so. I find life to be a complicated series of pranks and pratfalls. Besides, this is your mission. I'm only here to observe and offer assistance if you get in over your head. Speaking of which, try not to get captured or killed today. No, that would be boring. You start murdering the Sermonizer's priests, while I take on the real challenge. I'll locate her hiding spot. Then I'll find you, so we can kill her together. That will put the fear of the Brotherhood and the Kvatch people. Be stealthy, or slaughter everyone that gets in your way. Whichever works best for you. They all wind up with Sithis in the end, so what's the worry? Now, let's get out there and deal with the Grand Sermonizer and her lying priests. Time to dip our daggers in Sermonizer blood. Watch your back, new blade.
Have you heard who's fighting in the arena today? I hear it's going to be a bloodbath.
Crude amusements for fools and traitors. You do well to spend more time in the cathedral.
And you do well to loosen that codpiece.
Akatosh bless you, outsider. What brings you to our humble town? I won't listen to the lies of a Daedra worshipper. I'll summon the Grand Chanter. He'll deal with you.
Do not despair. Akatosh watches over us always. Lift your weary head and give praise. How dare you utter such blasphemy in this holy city? The Grand Chanter shall hear of this.
Please. I was once like you.
A hidden evil corrupting Kvatch. These villains are cowards, hiding in the shadows.
What is it?
Lord Akatosh, the dragon god of time, brings fire in the cold of night and light in the depths of darkness. There's room for you in the Society of the Dragon. All you have to do is say the word. That's enough blasphemy out of you for one day. The Grand Chanter wants to have a word with you. Your foul words have consequences, heretic. The Grand Chanter has ordered you to appear before him. Problem? Yes, there is a problem. You're preaching Boethiah's lies to the faithful initiates of the Society of the Dragon. The Grand Chanter won't stand for that, and neither will I. He orders you to appear before him in the Chamber of Penance. No righteous citizen of Kvatch will raise a finger to help a Daedra worshipper. Now march. If you cause further trouble, I can't guarantee your safety.
Dragon God.
By spreading the word of Boethiah to the initiates.
There is only one punishment for blasphemy. Behead them.
What? Isn't that a little extreme?
You dare question the will of Akatosh?
It doesn't say anything about beheadings in the Book of Akatosh.
Silence, Initiate. Lieutenant, deliver Akatosh's justice.
Is this the life you hoped for, Jocelyn?
Larissa! I should have known. I'm leaving.
I like the sound of it. Time to go. I appreciate you not slaughtering everyone in there. A holy bloodbath wouldn't have served us any better than you getting your head chopped off. Unfortunately, Jocelyn is as slippery as I am. She snuck away before we had a chance to talk. Quite the opposite. Jocelyn fled with us, which means we gave her plenty to think about. I'd guess she's gone to one of the old Akatosh shrines along Varen's wall. Let's split up. If you find her first, politely ask her to wait for me to arrive. Remember, check the shrines along Varen's wall, and do try to keep the mayhem and slaughter to a minimum. What?
This is taking longer than I planned.
I speak of the foul followers of Sithis.
Our quarry cowers in her family's estate outside Kvatch. I'll meet you there, New Blade. And if you really want to impress the matron, kill a few more sermonizers along the way.
Did you hear that the Great Shackle was destroyed?